Hello everyone and welcome to a new tutorial. Today we're going to be discussing a non-blueprint approach to camera shake. Now, the traditional way of creating camera shake inside Unreal Engine is by creating a camera shake blueprint. So you come here to the create basic asset panel and you pick a blueprint class. You look for camera shake. And there are going to be a bunch of options where you have to pick from. I've seen different tutorials picking different types. To be honest, I'm not sure what each specific blueprint does, but let's pick a random one. So once you have your blueprint, you come to your sequencer and you add your camera, and then you pick the camera shake and you select your blueprint. But every time you want to tweak your blueprint, you need to come inside the blueprint panel and modify the values that you have available, and then compile it and then go back. So it's kind of a hassle, especially for newcomers. So that's the reason I'm creating this tutorial. So the approach we're going to be taking is by adding a noise channel to the transform values inside our sequencer. So this is my scene, and you see I have a slight camera animation that is pushing forward. And it needs some camera shake, so let's do it. So what we're gonna do first is to add an additional transform. Now, why am I doing this? First, because this is a non-destructive way of animating. So if I have a camera animation, I don't want to animate over it. So I create a new additive transform channel. Since my time slider was in this 75 keyframe, that's the reason it added the additive channel from that point onward. So don't worry, that's not a problem. You simply extend it, right? So now that I have this additive transform, I can even rename it. So I'm going to add a name, T additive. Sorry about that. There you go. So you see, this is my original transform that has a few keyframes, right? And now I have a new additive transform on right under that, right? This is my additive transform, right? And this one doesn't have any keyframes. That's a good thing for us. Now what we're going to do is to add a noise channel. But how do we add a noise channel here? So very simple. Let's pick the Z location. We're going to right click and we're going to pick this little option at the bottom that says override with double purling noise. Now you can see here in my timeline that a little sine curve has been added to my Z channel. So if we play our animation now, you'll see that there's a slight camera shake, right? This is a good start, but it's not necessarily what we want, right? Now we can tweak this very easily by you put your cursor in your timeline right where your sign is, and you right click and you'll find a purling noise channel option, right? So you'll see the three main values you want to tweak. There's a frequency, how many times the camera shake is going to take place, the amplitude, how big that shake is going to be, and an offset that is simply going to move to change, let's say, the location of the sine curve, right? So in reality, what we need to tweak is the frequency and the amplitude. So let's increase the amplitude so you can see better what's going on. So we can play this now. You see that there's the amount of pixels that is moving has increased because I changed the value from 1 to 4. Let's change the frequency. Let's double the frequency. Right? So I guess you're getting the idea of what's going on here. So I want this effect to be subtle. So I'm going to reduce the frequency, which is the amount of times, once again, the amount of times that is going to shake. So I just want it to happen once every second. And the amplitude, let's keep it at 4 for the moment. Let's see how it goes. Okay, it isn't bad, but I think it's too, I'm overdoing it, so I'm going to reduce the amplitude too. So let's have that. Yes, there you go. That's very simple. Now, if you want this effect to be very noticeable, you can add it to the rotation channel also. So let's pick the pitch, override with double Perlin noise. Let's see what's going on. It's probably too intense, too many times. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. Now you right click on your curve, look for the Perlin noise channels, and you see that now we have a second channel in this list. The location C channel belongs to obviously the location channel that we created before. And now we have a rotation Y, which is our pitch. So I'm going to reduce the frequency. I want it to happen once. And I want it to be very subtle, so 0.25. Let's look at this again. Okay, it's kind of working for me. Let's add another noise channel to the jaw. Override with Perlin noise. Let's look what's going on. It's too intense. Let's do the same thing. Let's add the same values. 1 and 0.25. Here you go. Okay, it's looking better. I like it. It's probably not the best camera shake ever, but it works, and I didn't have to use any blueprints to create it. Now, I want to show you something else. What would happen if I didn't add this transform channel, right? So let's delete this. Let's assume for a moment that you watched this tutorial and you said, okay, I want to add my camera shake. I have a slight animation and I forgot to add the additive transform channel. So I simply came here to the location and added my override with double Perlin noise, right? And I said like, okay, let's do it at 1. Okay, frequency 2 and amplitude 1. What the heck is going on here? Something simply messed up. Now here's the thing. Since this is an override, this is obviously going to, you know, as the name implies, override whatever animation you have underneath. So this Perlin noise channel took over and messed up my animation. So if I keep adding Perlin noise to my other channels, I simply screwed up everything. Now, don't you worry, this is fixable. So if this ever happens to you, all you have to do is to come here once again to the channel where you added the Perlin noise, right click and remove the override. If you see here, remove the override, all your keyframes are going to be preserved under the Perlin noise channel. So don't you worry, if you mess it up, you can fix it. Now you see the importance of adding the additive transform channel, because this animation is going to be added on top of whatever transform you already have. So don't forget it. You come here first, you come to your sequencer, to your camera, come to the transform, add another transform, another additive transform, and you can add the camera shake to these channels that are empty without losing your animation. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to show you for today. I hope this is useful to all of you, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. Take care. Bye.